Hello, this message comes to you from a living Christ, a free man, sovereign. It is addressed to my fellow Oregonians, my fellow Americans, for it is time for us to face the monster of government. We are reaching a time in the history of our country like none other. Quality of life that I personally have experienced growing up in the 50s, gone forever. We have slowly, incrementally, morphed into a society where our freedoms are being stripped away from us by the very people that we put into office and support with our hard-earned money. Now, I don't know about you. When I pay someone to do a job, they work for me. I don't work for them. Somehow, slowly but surely, we have been turned around in our heads to mind control, where we fear government, our hirelings, not rule over it. As most of you know, or don't know, I am an honorably retired police sergeant from the Pacifica Police Department, a small department in the Bay Area of San Francisco. When I joined the force in '62, I took an oath to defend and protect the Constitution and the people who paid my salary. I had a direct contact with the people. It was real, not just some vague idea. They were prominent in my mind. Then the bureaucracy that has morphed into a monster through the decades which followed, we have arrived at the instrument of experiencing tyranny at the hands of such people. The stirrings of what our nation was to become was beginning to rear its ugly head back then, and was instrumental in my forced retirement from the police department. I was blessed to have worked for an honorable man, Chief of Police Neil Tremaine. He was removed from office shortly after I was forced to retire. Thus the changes which brought about the kind of service we receive today from police departments throughout the nation have begun. I cringe when I look at the modern day law officers, most of whom are heavy-handed, uniformed yahoos, would not have lasted in my days. A shift from service to rule, to bullying, and to intimidate had taken place. Now don't get me wrong. There are a lot of good cops who are still around and are service-minded, but they are acting in the shadows of cops who have sold their souls for a job. Those who blindly follow policy, who obey orders, who are unable to function in service of the community, but they check their judgment at the door and proceed to robotically carry out administrative policy. The problem is the orders come from the corrupt cops who hold administrative positions in the departments. They are the ones who create the policies of tyranny. However, they are not immune from their actions in dealing with the free people. It would seem that this heavy-handed mindset arising from the policy makers is where the problem is focused. It does no good to exercise blanket judgment on all parts. That just feeds the insanity we are experiencing today. We, the people, the sovereigns, are the true makers of the law, the ones who pay the salaries. Thus, we are the real government. These criminally minded policymakers and blind order follower workers work for us. When are you going to get that through your heads? I, this personal, living, breathing, flesh and blood man, have faced down the Oregon, Josephine County government's, its courts, and its enforcement repeatedly over the last 13 years. It's all documented on Google and my two websites, ArcEnterprises.com and LisaRayEnterprises.com. Lisa spelling L-E-E-S-A. Now, courts, Josephine County courts, and Sheriff's Department came after me with the intent to incarcerate me for 35 to 40 years on trumped-up charges. They convicted the juristic person of 2 trials who I was able to prove was not me, not this living, breathing, flesh and blood man. Yes, this Christ, the simple man of truth. Because I refused to accept their contract of sentencing, they threw me out of jail instead of into prison. With no charges over my head. I am what is rarely experienced in our country at our present day as a free man. Many of you will rail because I have had the audacity to use the word Christ to define my level of consciousness, which is the consciousness of all simple men of truth. They are found few and far between in this crazy, unbalanced, violent society ruled by satanic mind control. Yet your hackles are raised because I produce the fact that damn near all of you are laboring through your lives are under the spell of such satanic mind control. You are laboring throughout your lives under this hypnotic spell. You live your lives vicariously, based on dead concepts and ideas that have been programmed into you by outer forces, satanic mind controllers led by government and promoted by media, mainstream and alternate. They are all satanic in that they apply to the intellect, not to the spirit of each other. They set rules you to dance to wear yourself out trying to please them, gain their favor, to convince them not to visit their wrath upon you. It doesn't work, does it? Each of you have forgotten, that is, if you ever knew, who you are. You are what I am, a Christ. You're all potentially simple men and women of truth. And you, vast majority of you, suffer from amnesia of that fundamental fact. You believe that you are slaves. You are made to believe that. And you act it out in your daily lives. You create your own life by projected thoughts in relationship with others. Yes, there are more of you than there are of me. There's no question about that. But that doesn't change the fact that I am free and you still remain slaves to your own thoughts. Hell, isn't it? As John Wayne was noted to say, it's a fact, not brag. Where are the John Waynes, the Audie Murphys? Where have they gone? Men of integrity, men who face their fears and look beyond them. Where are men whose actions match their words? Men who can be depended upon, not to wither under fire, under attack. I cannot speak for you. I know who I am and what I am. It's certainly not defined by any nebulous, outer-directed, institutional policy. A Christ, a simple man or woman of truth, has always been there inside of the thorn in the side of satanically ruled politics and religion. Whether web-weaving storytellers who are entertaining but have an agenda to manifest in enslaving you and your loved ones, have always been with us. They have been with us since the beginning of time. All of you guys out there, let me tell you, they were on their paths just like you and I, one leg at a time. Why and how in the hell have you become so frightened of an idea that anyone can be superior to you? You must consent to be such an inferior status. Break the spell that binds you. Understand who you truly are, and remove yourself from your 14th Amendment status of that of a member of the corporate government which practices color of law, not true law, who contracts his life away by agreeing to follow all the rules of the corporate government, which professes to be the law, but is not law. If you are not a member of the corporation, its corporate rules, which they call law, do not apply to you. I have certainly proved that they have not applied to me, this living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient man, this sovereign man of these sovereign people. Take your rightful position, the man or woman of these sovereign people. those who are the creators of government, and not its subjects. Anyone who agrees to be a subject agrees to be a slave. You folks are presently living a twisted life where confusion and violence is rampant, where up is down, left is right, and the might makes right. No need to buy into their violent enticements. Just boycott. Boycott. Boycott the hell out of them. Remove your financial and psychological support, and watch how quickly the boogeyman disappears. I perceive that by now you do get the point that I am making. But what is holding you up? The dictionary definition of a monster is a person who excites horror by wickedness, cruelty, etc. Is it not time to face the satanic monster that is bent on enslaving and killing you and yours? It's time to wake up. It is time to stand up. It is time to take back our country. For we are the creators of government, and we can damn well dissolve it. The rest is up to you. Thank you for your time.